Hello YouTube, this is Sigoma here. The footage that you're seeing in the background here, of course, unless you've been living under a rock for the past, 15 years, is of course the original Quake for the PC. Well, today's topic is about a couple of games that are coming out, and one of them is already out, and the other will be out in a few weeks to a month. If my memory serves me right, it'll be October when it comes out. The first one, which just came out and is currently in stores, is the original. Is a compilation that Nintendo released of the first several years worth of the Kirby games. Kirby's Dreamland for the original Game Boy is on it. Kirby's Dreamland 2 for the Game Boy is on it. One I forgot which for the Game Boy Color. There's one on there. There's the one for the N64 known as Kirby 64. There's Kirby's Dreamland 3. I think it's Dreamland 3. And also the one that was out for the Super Nintendo. And then there's also, Kirby's Adventure for the NES. Then there's Kirby's Adventure 2. Don't quote me on this. I may be saying some of these wrong, but I think that's about what it is. And they're being released, of course, on a Wii disc. I'm not sure if it's going to be just like the ones on the Super Nintendo that were... or that Super Nintendo, man, I'm really screwing up tonight, on the Mario All-Stars collection, which is basically a virtual console game put onto a disc. They essentially just took the 17-year-old, almost 20-year-old game ROM from a cartridge and ported it to the Wii file format, and then put it onto a disc and sold it for about $30. But that one was listed as a limited edition, which means it's only going to be out for a certain amount of time. They're only going to make a certain amount of them. But from what I read for Kirby, it doesn't say anything anywhere about it being a limited edition, whereas the Mario one did. It said they would only have so many of them, and they were right. It was sold out within less than a month. Every store in my particular area, and I even looked on Amazon, they were even out of them. They sold out within just a few weeks. Every store in my area, and probably in the U.S., was pretty much out of them. You could find them on places like eBay or even Amazon, but they were going for ridiculously high prices, especially if you wanted a complete, at least complete, if not new, in the shrink wrap box. They were going for a lot of money. And of course, they did re-release it in March of the next year. But that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about the Kirby. That one, as far as I know, they're not going to be making in limited quantities. Maybe because the demand for the Mario one was so high, they decided maybe not to do that with this one, figuring it would give more people a chance to purchase it. But then again, it won't be quite as collectible because there will be more of them out there, whereas the Mario one is reasonably collectible because there really isn't a whole lot of them out in the wild. You'd be lucky if you find one, and if you find one used, like at GameStop, it won't have all the special goodies with it, and you'll pay about $25 for it. Because people are not turning those in because they're considered limited editions, and people are not that gullible, thinking that they can just go out and grab another one that they turned in. Now that Kirby's out of the way, another one that's pending release, and this is another one that I might consider picking up myself when it comes out. And by the way, the Kirby will be selling for about $40, which is not a bad deal, especially if you're a big Kirby fan. I'd recommend it. The only one I'm really familiar with from there, I've played the NES game and I've played the Game Boy game, but that's pretty much it. I haven't played the Super Nintendo one, and I have not played the N64 one, of course, because I never had a Super Nintendo, nor did I ever have a N64, at least back in the day I didn't. I only got one in the last couple of years. The same with the Super Nintendo. In fact, I've had the Super Nintendo not as long as the N64. But the next one is and I'm really looking forward to this, as a fan of this particular series, and that is Doom. They are re-releasing Doom 3 for the Xbox 360. I'm not sure if it's going to be on I don't think it's going to be on PlayStation. I think it's only for the 360. Don't quote me on that, but I don't think it's for the PlayStation 3. And I don't think there's going to be a re-release of it for the PC either. I don't think they're planning on doing that. Or for the computer. That includes both OS X and Windows. They were planning on... And it's also going to have the Doom and Doom 2. No Final Doom. No Master Levels, which would have been awesome. Would have made it kind of a Doom franchise collection, basically, if they had done that. But it does have Doom and Doom 2, but no Final Doom, which is sort of disappointing, but not too surprising, since it was kind of not really a mainstream version of Doom. I don't think it sold all that well. Excellent version, though. Excellent collection of levels. And some of them are actually considerably more difficult. Even on the easy level, the Final Doom levels are far more difficult than Doom and Doom 2. But this is a re-release of Doom 3. Of course, it's going to be running in high definition, whereas the Xbox games didn't. So there's going to be an upgrade there, and of course the graphics are going to be equivalent to the PC, which means it's going to have all the tessellation, all the anti-aliasing, everything just turned like it would be if you had it turned up to max on a PC. So and of course it's going to run. Hopefully, it's going to run at least 30 to 40 frames a second, if not a full 60. Hopefully that they can do it at least 720p and make it native 720p at the maximum, because most games lately anyway have been sub HD. They're like 640p or 620p or 670p. They're just below high definition, but under casual viewing, you probably wouldn't notice the difference between the first two. Between 640p and 720p, because there's only like 30 or 40 lines difference in resolution, which your eye really can't necessarily detect. But yeah, I mean, they'll be within the realm of HD. They'll be running, much higher than what you see currently on the original Xbox, and it'll be more up to the level of what you might see on OS X and Windows on the computer versions. And it also will include the expansion pack as well. So you'll have the full-blown Doom 3 game plus the expansion pack plus Doom and Doom 2. And I think various other special features. So it's going to be quite a collection when it comes out. And it's also selling for $40. So there are definite pickups probably for me. At least the Doom is. Kirby's a good distraction. It's nice to get a game that's not a first-person shooter. Doom is a first-person shooter, but it's based on a classic franchise. Franchise that people, especially PC gamers, have a lot of nostalgia about. It's definitely for the old school Doom fans, and which there are a lot of out there, and I'm certainly one of them. I think it's going to sell well. I think people have waited for, and I think some people secretly have been waiting for a native Xbox 360 port of Doom 3. And also, it's not surprising they're doing that because retro games are a big deal right now. I mean, they re-released Half-Life 2 for the 360. Why couldn't, which is around the same age? Why couldn't they release Doom 3? The 360 is a much more powerful system than the Xbox. It's capable of, doing a lot more graphical effects. The processors are faster. The sound processor is better. And of course, you'll have it. Now you'll be able, once again, be able to play it on Xbox Live. Hopefully, they refine that. But Doom 3 was more about the single-player campaign. In that way, it's more old school. It's not about just, camping there and worrying about your kill-to-death ratio like it is with Call of Duty. And don't get me wrong, I enjoy Call of Duty, but I think sometimes it's a little too... people take it too seriously. It's a game. Well, that's pretty much all I have to talk about now. Well, I hope you have a good day or a good night, depending on where you're living. And this is Sigoma, and of classic arcade, console, PC gaming, and retro tech. Talk to you soon.